Sometimes fishing can be a balancing act. This graceful technique, performed on a mountain lake, just one of many cultural treasures that attract more and more foreign tourists to Myanmar every year. This is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Myanmar. Foreign visitors flock to Inle Lake in droves. Most of them don't know how close this is to a conflict that's been going on for more than 60 years. This is what Myanmar's hidden war looks like. Videos shot by rebels show battles in the jungle between government forces and ethnic militias. Since independence, this former British colony has been plagued by rebellions, minorities fighting against military regimes dominated by the Burmese ethnic group. In a town not far from the lakeside resort, we find one of the most recent casualties of the conflict. A 26-year-old man caught in the crossfire, shot in the stomach and arm. He said he was bleeding. His pregnant wife had to bandage him, and it took more than 8 hours before he could see a doctor. Dozens of villagers who fled recent fighting now shelter in this neighborhood with friends and relatives.
60 years we have to suffer.
Sao Yun Pang is a politician from the Shan ethnic minority. He blames the Myanmar military for the long war in this region.
If they leave that border out of border area, the war will stop.
Traveling to a militia stronghold is not easy. After a long, bruising journey, we finally reach a militia in a village on top of a mountain. These are fighters with the Thon National Liberation Army. They're one of at least 15 armed groups in Myanmar that refuse to accept the authority of the central government. And as you can see, they're operating in uniform, armed, apparently not worried about the presence of the Myanmar army in distant hills. They are members of the Tang ethnic group. Their commander says he's been an armed rebel for the last 11 years. What is it you're fighting for?
We want our own state. We want to build a genuine federal system in this country. We want to have dignity and self-determination.
The rebel claims the government persecutes and neglects his people.
In this village, is there electricity?
No.
No electricity.
No electricity.
In recent months, the Myanmar government tried to negotiate a ceasefire, but only 8 of 15 armed groups signed on, and this faction wasn't even invited to the talks. With no end to Myanmar's long war in sight, these ethnic rebels continue to declare themselves the law in this mountainous land.
And Christy, it's important to note, as millions of people in this country were going to the polls in this historic election, the fighting was also going on in parts of the east of the country, parts of the northeast of the country. A very mixed bag on what was supposed to be an historic period, a stepping stone for democracy for this country.